Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, developer advocate at Dremio, and what I want to do is just show you how you can easily try out Superset on your laptop and connect it to Dremio Cloud. Okay, so first off, what is Superset? If you're not familiar with Apache Superset, it's an open source BI dashboard software that you can easily deploy. Okay, so I'm going to be using a Docker container, and actually I created a custom Docker container from the default Apache Superset Docker container that just makes getting started up with Dremio even faster. So you can try this out and see it at work. Okay. And essentially what it is, if you've worked ever with BI dashboard tools like Tableau or Power BI, this is going to seem very familiar. And the cool thing is that you can deploy this on your own. So you can have your own Superset server and Superset instance that you run on your own and manage on your own. And I think there is also a cloud service named Preset that also offers this as a service. Okay, but essentially all you need to do to get started is you would just run this command, and again a link to this will be in the video description. Okay, you would just run this docker command. Okay, and that's going to run that special Dremio superset image that I created that just kind of cuts down some of the time of having to install the Dremio SQL library, SQL Alchemy libraries, and migrate the example data sets in the SQLite database that's inside the default image. Okay, but once that runs and that starts, you're good to go. And then basically all you have to do is run this command. That's actually going to kickstart the Superset software on the container. And then you're able to go log in. So basically what we do, let me just refresh this. Okay. And then basically right after that gets started, what you would do is you would just go to this URL right here to log in. Okay. And yeah, that would be that. And you would log in with the username admin and admin, because that's the way I created it in the image. Again, the source code for the image is here in case you wanted to change those aspects. You can just rebuild the image pretty easily. But then you'll be able to see basically a dashboard like this. And the first thing you're going to want to do is essentially connect a database. So you would click on database connections. I already have my Dremio connection established, but just to show you how you would do that, I would click on database over here. I would then choose other database here at the bottom of list of supported databases. And then here you just put the URL that would establish the connection. Okay, that would be this URL here for Dremio Cloud. The only thing you have to do is put in your PAT token in here. How do you get a PAT token? Is that in your Dremio Cloud account, you would go over here to your account settings, and then here you'd be able to generate a token. Now, the only issue with that is that the token is going to have a lot of special characters in it. So I'm going to go to this random keygen website, and I'm going to copy this particular string right here, just to represent a possible token. So you're going to notice that there's a lot of sort of funky characters in it that are not sort of your natural characters that you would imagine in a URL. Problem is, to use them in a URL, they're going to have to be encoded so they don't get interpreted the wrong way. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can use this website, urlencoder.org, okay, which what it does is going to allow you to encode strings. So I can just take this string here, put that right in there, say how I kind of want it to be encoded. Okay. Okay. And then once, I want it on Linux. And then once I'm done, I just hit encode. And then right here is going to be the encoded string. Okay. Now, you may not want to use a tool like this because you may want to generate that encoded string from your computer for security reasons, security concerns. So a way you can do that is you can right click on the screen. Okay. So give me a second for that little right click menu to pop up. Okay. Well, I'll just do it on a different page. Okay. If I right click over here, I can click on inspect, and that's going to open up the browser DevTools. So in the browser DevTools, there's a section called console. In the console, I can actually write arbitrary JavaScript code that will get run. So what I want to do is run the function called encode URI component. Okay, so I just click here, URI component. In the parentheses for the function, I'm going to want to pass, in this case, what would be my token, as a string. Okay, the only issue here is that there is quotation marks in the string. So what I'm going to need to do is probably the simplest things to do is use backticks in this case, because I don't think there's any backticks in the string. You could use single quotes, double quotes. Okay, so there we go. So see, there's the encoded string, and that would be the one I use. And how can you tell the difference? You'll notice that when certain characters are used, you see like this percentage sign and a number. That is the encoding of that particular character. That basically says, okay, in the URL, that's how the URL interpreter knows that it's that particular character, and you're not using that for some functional purpose. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You need the encoded version of your PAT token to be in this URL here, okay, to connect to connect your superset. But then basically, once you put the URL there, you click test connection, you should get a green light that the connection is working, and you're good to go. Okay. So now the next thing is you're going to want to add your data sets. Okay, so you want to connect maybe one of your data sets from your Dremio account. So I'll click over here on data sets, and I'm going to click add a data set, saying, hey, you know what, I want to take one of my data sets because I'm planning to build a dashboard off of it. So here I want to see my list of databases. In this case, my Dremio database is here in the other category. So I'm going to click that. Now it's going to show me all the sort of places where there's data in all my schemas in my database. So in this case, what I want to do is go to Arctic DBD practice. I should have a data set in there called weather. And then here I'm going to be able to see the tables. Oh, maybe that was the wrong location. Oh, I see why. Okay, I want Arctic DBT practice. Here we go. Okay. And there you see there's a weather data set. I click on that. There's the schema, so detected it correctly. I'll just then create this data set. So now this data set exists in my Superset account, and I can create dashboards from it. So now I can, let's say I want to create a bar chart. So I'll click here on bar chart and say, hey, I want to create a bar chart on this data set. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll choose what I want as the x-axis. So we'll say, hey, I want the date. Okay, hit save. Now again, anything with these little yellow marks are required, so you're not going to see anything here until you fulfill those. So I now need something for the y-axis. So I'm going to say, hey, maybe I want to do something on precipitation, and I would like to know what the average precipitation by date is. So I hit save. Okay, and now everything's ready to go. I can click create chart. It's now going to go send a query to my Dremio cluster and create a chart from the data. I can again then alter all these, and again, this is all happening directly from my data lake. So you see here, I'm just building really nice, crisp, fast dashboards directly from my data lake. And not only I can connect to several other sources, databases, data warehouses, and just kind of have all my data unified by Dremio, connect to Dremio, and just makes the whole process of discovering my data sets, curating my data sets easier. And that way from Superset, I just focus on creating the visualizations and creating the dashboards I need because the data is already nice and set up inside of Dremio. Okay, so yeah, but that's pretty much it. So you can take advantage of this image. Again, all the links so that way you can take advantage of this and use this will be in the video description or in the comments of the post on social media. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. My name is Alex Merced, developer advocate here at Dremio. And yeah, let's go analyze some data.